Good afternoon, everybody. Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey, guys. All right, I've been wanting to get to this problem. It's been nagging me for about a month or so. Started noticing that this machine is starting to need a little love, or as you say, a little repair. Okay, this is the BVH-2000 1-inch broadcast machine from the mid-80s through the 90s. It was a very prevalent machine, used quite a bit in the analog world of television broadcast before high-definition digital came into phase, but a lot of stations had these sitting around. It's a very popular machine. As you can tell, I took the control panel out. All right, the control panel is off completely. Got the door open. All right, now this thing has a problem that I've been noticing, and I'm about to show you in a minute, especially in the control panel. Again, guys, I don't have spare machines like this. And so there's no parts for this machine. I mean, none. You can't get certain things that go bad on these machines are just no longer available. And especially if I had another control panel, I'd just swap it out. But unfortunately, I was not able to do that. So let's go into the garage work area and show you what we're doing here. Okay. Now, this is a broadcast unit that is very, very unique for 1-inch broadcast tapes, and people call on me to do transfers. Well, for the past month, I have noticed that, so here's the control panel, here's the front panel with everything out of it, okay, and this is the back part of it. So this is your control panel. You got your shuttle, your jog, for fast forward, rewind, jog, all that type of stuff is basically working off these three buttons. You got to stop, play, and record, which is no big deal. All that works and all these work. It's just that these three buttons on top for fast forward and rewind weren't making very good contact. And what they call those are tactical or tactile push button switches, whatever you want to call it. I ordered these and basically they're the wrong ones. So anyways, they're push button switches, and there's three of them. One here, here, and here. Now that controls your fast forward. You press this one, you go like that. You can rewind the tape. You got your jog for jogging through video. Everything is controlled right there for fast forward in your searching mode of the unit. Okay, then you have your stop, play, and record, which is not a big deal. All right, these buttons are wore out, and I've noticed last month when I was running a tape, it took a while. You have to really press them hard to get them to work. So that means the contacts inside the switch are absolutely no good on all three of these. And I really didn't want to have to do this, but a friend of mine inspired me because he's working on his 1-inch machine, and he wanted me to help him, along with the servicing of his deck remotely. So that pretty much stuck a stick up my ass to get in gear and fix my own machine. When in doubt, swap it out, because you don't want to have problems when you're doing tape jobs for people. And this could be a big problem. If you can't rewind your tape or fast forward it on this 1-inch machine, you're going to have a huge nightmare on your hands. Okay, well, here is the guts of this control panel, and it's in two sections. As you see, it's just two boards. You got your back board and you got your front board. This thing is massive. Now, so this is a dual board type of thing, and there are the three buttons that are in question. As you can tell, we replaced them with brand new ones. Okay, now, mind you, you cannot get parts for this machine at all, especially these damn switches. As you can see, the same switches are over here, but I had to do some configuring to make what I had work, which is very similar to the original. All right, so here's the board that I took the donor switches off. This came from I believe a fancy Betacam SP. I'm not too sure what this came off of. One of the newer units anyways. And this is a control panel that was shorted out. But as you can tell, the switches are very similar. Now the ones I need are these small ones, but they had these large housings. And so I'm sitting there thinking to myself, these have the large housings, which I need, and so I don't need those. So those are shorted out. So I was looking at these ones they had on this board, and they're the same height and everything else, and they fit the same pin configuration, and they're at the same height. So these will replace these with no problem. All right? even though these are bigger housings, the connections are spaced at the same spacing, and you got the same height when you mount them to the board. So what we did is we replaced all 3 switches with new ones, which are these smaller ones, which have the same pin configuration and everything else, and height. He just isn't in the wide housings, which are obviously no longer used. So these light up with the LED, and they fit on the board perfectly. So these are going to replace these old ones perfectly. So what we did is we pulled 3 new ones off of this junk board, which is exactly what I need to do a configuration. Can no longer get these switches at all, guys. Sometimes you have to really MacGyver things together when you're doing repairs. This is a perfect example of my years and years of experience working on broadcast equipment. We're able to make do from something that you barely works, but actually is almost virtually the exact same switch. We're able to replace the switches and take out these crappy ones, which are just a complete disaster, and able to replace these. So basically what that's going to do is it's going to bring this control panel back up online. All 3 of these will light up, and I'll be fighting these switches in fast forward, rewind, and shuttle. They'll work just perfectly. So anyways, I thought I'd show you guys this repair. This is not an easy repair, I'll tell you that, because these switches are very, very micro in soldering. You got to really fight these to get them out. I mean, the little connections are so small that it's really hard to take these out and remove them from a board. But we're able to get them out, and then soldering them into the board again, which is another feat. You got to be very careful. You don't want to overheat your boards when you solder these, and you want to just put a dab on there, not glue it with tons of solder on there. You just want a dab. That's it, to make the contact on that little contact plate and or trace, and they'll stay put. So anyways, I thought I'd show you guys this. This is a BVH-2000 control panel repair. Hope you enjoy this video.